Hi everyone, thank you for joining my channel today. And in this video I just wanted to share with you a very quick lipstick tip that I have, and it is with regards to expensive lipstick packaging. So these days there are a lot of premium brands that invest a lot into lipstick packaging and therefore make you invest a lot into lipstick packaging. So when you buy it, it's mostly metal or something really heavy, really nicely looking, maybe decorated with metal details or straws or whatnot. And as I mentioned, these are mostly premium brands like Guerlain, Lancôme, Tom Ford, just to name a few. I think you know the rest. And unfortunately today not a lot of brands come up with refills. So something that you can still use in the same packaging, put into the packaging once your lipstick runs out. And I think it's a pity because of course that would make you buy yet another expensive component. However, knowing the cosmetics business from inside, I know the reasons why it's still a business, but I'm still hoping more brands will come up with this idea. It would be really nice if you could only pay for super expensive packaging once, and then if you love the formula you just continue buying refills and can put them in. But meanwhile, there's a tip that I wanted to share with you, what you can do if you really want to, not to throw away the expensive packaging. It of course doesn't work for the cases where you've tried a lipstick and you really love both the formula and the pack, so you're just gonna repurchase. It only works if once you finished using the lipstick, it's empty but you don't want to throw away the metal component and you just want to keep using it, but supposedly with another formula. So the tip is mostly about how to keep this nicely looking packaging and still have some other product inside. And the tip is all about freezing. You heard it right, you freeze your product. There are a lot of tips out there on YouTube about melting. You can melt lipstick to put in your palette or to do some other stuff with it. So this is a little bit of the opposite. We're not going hot, we're going cold. It's about freezing. And the example I want to give is basically I have this metal lipstick packaging. It's really nice. It almost looks like a jewelry. And the lipstick is still there, but I just wanted to hypothetically show what I would do once I finished using it and I don't want to buy it again. I just want to have this nice packaging and continue using it. I actually want to put my lip balm in it. So I'm going to take my L'Occitane lip balm, which comes in a normal, very simple plastic packaging, and put it in this. So I'm just going to use it as a normal lip balm, but I will hold in my hands a nicely looking pack. You can also do it in a different way and you can kind of cheat a little bit. If you have a lipstick that comes in a very simple plastic packaging, like I'm holding here as an example of Elf, or anything else where the packaging is just nothing special and you have no particular feelings about it, and you want to combine them. So of course it's a little bit of a cheating because you would have the packaging of one brand and one lipstick but the formula of another. But if it makes you happy, just use it on your own, or when you're somewhere in public you want to take it out of your handbag and you want it to look really nice. Of course, as I mentioned, it's not going to be the same formula, but it's just going to look nice. So if you're interested in that, this is the tip. So what you do is you basically, depending on what your situation is, if this component is empty, you don't have to do anything about it. You just take the packaging where you have the formula that you want to use. I'm going to show you the example where I freeze both because they are both not empty. And what you do is you basically put them in the freezer bag and put them in the freezer for at least 6 hours. I usually leave them overnight. Before we go any further, I just wanted to mention, because I'm sure there are some questions about it, I can't guarantee that all the formulas, all the lipsticks out there, but I know that majority, most of them, nothing happens when you freeze the product. It's not going to lose its qualities, it's not going to lose the texture or the pigments or anything. Basically, it's not a bad process for the product. Of course, I don't know if there are some special vitamins or emollients that might need special treatment. I can't guarantee, but I know that everything I've done so far, and for majority of the products I know the formulas, and I do know that nothing happens. When you freeze, then it melts again, and it's the same texture, the same look, the same everything. So your product is as good as it was before. So what you do is you put them in the freezer bag, you put them in the freezer. Most of the time I do it overnight, but it should be like 5 to 6 hours at least. And then when you take them out, basically they're completely cold and they're frozen and they're ready to work with. So you don't really need much else to do this operation. You just need some kind of tissue. Ideally, it should be something that has very little texture, because you're gonna take the tissue and touch your product with it. So the more texture it has, the more it will leave some sort of pattern on your product. I use just a general tissue, and to me it works because I'm not that afraid of damaging the product. But ideally you should use something that leaves no residue and has very little texture. So what you do is you twist your, in this case I'm just going to show on the lipstick first, you twist your lipstick up and it's completely cold, and what you need to do is to remove the actual component or the bulk of the lipstick from the packaging. So you take a tissue, wrap around a lipstick, and very, very gently, you should be hardly touching it. You don't have to grab it and be really, really sort of strong with it. You hold the lipstick and kind of tilt it from side to side, or sway or swing, however you call it. Very, very gently twist it from side to side. You cannot pull it straight away because then it will break, and you cannot do any really sort of fast and strong movements. Very gently sway it from side to side while you're kind of moving it up, and at the end of the day it will just lift from the base where it was, and you can just put it aside. Or I mean, normally you would actually have this component empty because this is your premium lipstick that you finished using. And then you do the exactly same thing with the product you want to use. In my case, L'Occitane lip balm. You take the tissue, you hold it, you twist it or tilt it from side to side very gently while you're moving it up. And if you've done it right, I mean, first of all, it's cold, so it has really, the reason you freeze it is for it to have less chances to break. Once it's cold, it's more hard in the texture, so you do have very little risk, so to say, to break it, but still try to be very gentle. And in the end, once you pull it out, you should have a very clean base. There's nothing, no product at the base, and this component, the plastic, a simple one, you can just throw away if you want. And then you take the lip balm, in my case, that I want to put back into my metal packaging, and you just gently insert it into the base. It has this sort of ribs or ridges which help the product sit better in the base, and you can try to make them fit. However, if you have two different brands, two different components, they're not going to be in the same place. So you can just push it in and it will kind of create new ridges in the product, and it will still sit in a good way. And now you can see, you can twist it up and twist it down. It will function as the normal product. There is nothing wrong with it. Of course, you have to melt, you have to let it time to melt or thaw, so that you can use it again, and this can take 2 to 3 hours, but the product will be back to normal. You can still use it, there's no problem with it. Some of the lip balms, it's quite interesting. I actually find it's really nice to use them when they're cold, maybe not straight from the freezer, but after 1 hour. I know some people keep their lip balms in the fridge, so that when you use it, it gives you the nice feeling of freshness on your lips. So that's also something you could think of. The only thing I have to mention is, before you start this process, just compare the diameter of the two products. There are 2 or 3 or maybe even more specific diameters, so it's not by default that they have exactly the same size. So if you just hold them next to each other, those two surfaces, or the actual products inside, just have a look. You will be able to see it with the naked eye that the diameters are the same. Then they will fit. Then you can swap them or just use one instead of the other. This is the only thing you have to keep in mind. Here you go, this is my tip, and it's basically how to keep the expensive lipstick packaging, because we don't want to throw it away because we paid money for it, or actually it's not that great for environment to throw away that many metal components. So for many reasons that you might have, I hope this tip was useful. If there is something that I've mentioned that wasn't clear, sorry, because it's difficult to explain in details, just let me know in the comments below. I'm happy to answer, but I hope the little demonstration answered the questions, and hopefully for some of you this will be a useful tip and you will be able to keep using your nicely looking metal packaging or any other really expensive packaging with the lip balm or any other product. I hope this was useful. If you liked the video, please press like, the thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And if you want to share with me if this tip was useful and how you're going to use it for you, just let me know in the comments below. I'm always happy to read. Thank you so much again for joining my channel and for watching this video, and I hope I will see you again soon. Have a good day. Bye!